there's this woman getting out of her car, and she looks at me and she says, "Are you the one that made this DVD?" And at the time, it was the DVD I made called Divine Mercy 101. And I had told the story about my grandmother in that DVD. And she says, "Is this you? Was your grandmother the one who died by suicide?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Father, I gotta talk to you just like you. I had somebody I loved that died by suicide. My Uncle John. I didn't pray for him when he died." She said, "Then I heard this tape of yours, and I started praying the Chaplet of Divine Mercy for my Uncle John." She went to confession in Washington with this well-known priest that can read souls. And she did her confession. And she finished, and she was getting up, and the priest said, "By the way, your chaplets worked." And she said, "Excuse me, Father?" And he said, "Your chaplets worked." And I said, "What did he say?" And she says, "Father, what are you talking about?" She didn't confess anything about her uncle or praying the chaplet or about suicide, nothing. And he said, "Your chaplets worked. Your uncle took his life." She's like, "Father, I have never met you. I have never been to you confession, and I have never said this in this confession." And he said, "Your uncle is in heaven." And she said, "What?" And he said, "Your chaplets worked. Your uncle is in heaven." And she's like, "Father, how do you know this?" And he said, "I just saw it. Your uncle said yes to God through your prayers. It was his free will choice, but he said yes to God." And she said, "Oh, my Father." She said, "I didn't say any of this to you." And he said, "Do you have an uncle?" She said, "Yes." And he said, "Did he die by suicide?" She said, "Yes." And he said, "Did you pray the chaplets for him?" She said, "Yes." He said, "God bless you. They worked." That is the mercy of God.